Hello. Hello. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Welcome, sir. Welcome to our faculty development program. So now you can start your deliberation. Thank you. Now the floor is yours. Thank you.
Start with ini lagi start ya. Oh, oh.
Itu si
Ah,
Jamil.
yeah. Yes. Can you hear
Please.
me?
Yes,
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Okay.
you are audible.
Okay. So, I I welcome everyone to this session. And today we have our key speaker, that is Dr. Bui Thang Hung. Okay, let me give a brief introduction to about our speaker today. Dr. Bui Thang Hung is working in data science laboratory, data science department of the Industrial University of Ho Chi Minh City. He has more than 30 years of teaching, research, and industry experience. His research interests are natural language processing, machine learning, deep learning, machine translation, text processing, data mining, image processing, voice recognition, and artificial intelligence. He has more than 150 research papers in referred journals, internal conference, and edited books. He has published 5 patents and also completed 4 international projects as principal investigator. He has delivered keynotes at many international conferences. So without much further delay, I give the time to our speaker, Dr. Bui Tang Hun.
Okay, really wait. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm very happy to present with you about our research, text summarization using transformer approach. I'm Bùi Thanh Hùng from Data Science Laboratory, Data Science Department, Faculty of Information Technology, Industrial University of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Here is the outline of my presentation. First, I will talk about introduction, like some approach to show summarize text summarization, and after that, I focus on transformer approach and case study from our research, and lastly, I will the conclusion. Now, let's start with introduction. As you know, natural language processing is the main part of artificial intelligence with the task for you can take a look here. And there are many tasks in natural language processing. In the figure is not include all tasks of natural language processing, but almost that presented on this figure. In the first column, some tasks related to linguistic, for example, tokenization, stemming, lemmatization, part of speech, passing. In the second column, you see some intermediate of natural language processing. For example, information retrieval, information extraction, named entity recognition, sentiment analysis, work send and distribution, text similarity, coreference discord analysis. And in the third column is some advanced natural language processing, for example, machine translation, automatic summarization, natural language generation, reasoning over knowledge-based question answering system, dialogue system, or image captioning, and other multimodal tasks. And today we focus on summarization, text summarization. What is the text summarization?
No, this one I want.
This means that text summarization is the process to create a short, accurate, and fluent summary of a longer text document. And this the application this the has many application in our life. For example, we can use text summarization in media monitoring, newsletter, search marketing and sale, internal document workflow, financial research, legal contract analysis, social media marketing, question answering and bot, video skipping, medical case, book and literature, email overload, e-learning and class assignment, science and R&D, patent research, meeting and video conference, help desk and customer support, helping disabled people, programming language, automatic content creation. So, what is text summarization and how we can solve this problem? From the article or the text, we here is a figure describe how can make the text summarization. From article, we will combine to get the data set or text, and we can split to sentence and combine sentence to the magic or vector, and after that we can find the similarity magic, and we can build a graph. After that we can use sentence ranking to get the summarization. This is the flow chart of text summarization approach. And there are two kinds of text summarization. The first is objective summarization, and the second is adjective summarization. Now take a look about the first adjective. What is adjective? It means that we will select part of original text to from a summary. For example, this approach is easier and restrictive. And here is example. We have the text here, and we can get the adjective text summarization by score the word sentence and pick up. Yeah, is the adjective approach. Adjective text summarization. How about objective? Objective means that we will generate the new text using natural language generation technique. This approach is more difficult and more flexible because the result more human. So, for example, here we have the same text, and now we can generate the new text to summarize the original text. And I just talk about adjective and objective. What is the difference between adjective and adjective? An example of adjective and adjective, and like how we can apply a approach to be to show the objective or adjective text summarization. Here is flowchart to describe own method for text summarization approach. You can see that with the adjective summarize method, we can use conceptual, linguistic, statistical, machine learning, fuzzy logic, or deep learning. And it's also with the objective summarize method, we can use a structured base, and with the template base, rule base, tree base, graph base, ontology base, and we can use a semantic base. For example, information item, semantic graphs, or predicate argument, and we can apply deep learning base. And if we combine adjective and objective, we have the hybrid summarization method. It means that we will move from adjective to objective method, or from objective to shallow adjective method. Adjective to shallow objective method. And here is a more detail in the adjective. Take a look about flowchart here. From the document, we will pre-processing, and we processing because in adjective, you know that we will select part of the original text to from a summary. So with this method, we processing with creativity representation of input context. Score is sentence, and after that we will select the high scoring sentence to get the summary generated. And this method depend on directly generating the summary from the text without changing the constant sentence in any way. So it is faster and simpler. However, HT has some disadvantage because the result in actually is not the same as a how human write summary. And what is the result actually is not the same as a human right, because the result in the reduction of semantic quality and cohesion because of wrong connection between the sentence in the rendered summary. So that is make the flow stated and unnatural. And the generated summary may not be accurate enough and not cover on important content sentence in the input document. In case the output summary is not long enough, we win the result when don't miss a significant sentence. However, it may contain unnecessary part, maybe not be needed in the summary, making it longer and not necessary. So it is some disadvantage from objective text summarization. What is objective? What is objective? It's the same. We have the document. We do pre-processing and we do process with by create create internal semantic representation and create summary. When we get the summary generated, and there are some advantage from the objective summarization. First, we see that it look like the first is the result is to be different from the original text because it's using more silent expression based on paraphrasing, and the result to be closer to a human summary. Uh, Comparing with the adjective summary, adjective summarization can decrease and produce a summary redundant, often a concise and expressive summary. However, objective summarization has some disadvantages. The first is it is difficult to perform high quality objective summarization, and also difficult to create a good objective summary because it needs to use natural language generation technique, and it means that it requires a lot of progress. And
स्टार्टिंग में बच्चों का
okay, yeah,
Participants, please mute your mic.
okay, yes. Current objective summary approach is focused on creating repetition in the work choice, and good objective summarization should be able to explain why it created the new sentence in the summary. It's difficult to do, not easy than adjective text summarization, and also this broad unable to hand out with the out of vocabulary work properly. This is some disadvantage of objective summarization. And what is the hybrid method? Hybrid method. It means that we have the document. We also do pre-processing, and we because we win in the hybrid in the previous figure, you see that we can change from adjective to objective method or adjective to shallow objective methods. So in the hybrid, here is one figure explain how to change from adjective text summarization to objective text summarization, and we can generate the summarization. Another we can change from adjective to adjective. And this approach has some advantage. The first, because it's a combination of adjective and adjective, so that is a combine some strong advantage of adjective and adjective. However, this method has some disadvantage. Uh, because it based on combining between adjective and adjective, so that it also there's some disadvantage from adjective, and adjective also remain, and we need to approach how to change, how to combine between adjective and adjective. It's not easy to do. So users know that there are three approach to text summarization. The first is adjective, the second is the objective, and the last is combining between adjective and objective. And now we today I focus on transformer to solve this problem. First, take a look about the neuron network for the text summarization. Here is a figure how to use the neuron network for the text summarization. And the first model based on second-to-second model is a very famous model in the natural language processing. And you can see that in the training here, with the work level training, we had many approach, and we can apply in the sentence level training, and with the model network model, with the many model based on convolution second to second model. It means that this model is the position embedding, convolutional encoder and decoder with the multi-step attention. And also we can use the INN, recurrent neural network second to second model, with also use attention mechanic, pointing, copyright mechanic, handled with repetition, improve encoder and decoder, long document summarization, and combine between abstraction and adjection. Yes, it's a neuron we can do based on INN or CNN. Yeah, see, convolution. Yeah, and in summarize generation, we can apply grid search or beam search. Beam search. So in this figure, you now you understand more about how to use neural network for the uh, text summarization. Yeah, and the first model, second to second model, as I told you before, this is a very famous model for the natural language processing. This is proposed by Rust et al. They introduce a neuron attention second to second model with an attention based encoder and a neural network language model, decoder to the objective sentence summarizing task. And which also has achieved a significant performance improvement over conventional method. Yes. And here is the architecture of the basic sequence-to-sequence model. Sequence-to-sequence model, where you can see that decoder and encoder with embedding a language model on this layer, and we can get the output. And also this model is the attention, and here is the figure display an attention based second to second model. You can check more detail in the paper. So by the attention, how you see that the source side contact vector for the target work can calculate by this formula, and the attention hidden state by this formula, and so that we can get the vocabulary distribution by this formula. You take a look inside in the attention based second to second model. Yes. And another model is also with the famous for the text summarization is the pointer generator network is proposed by Abhigan C et al. In 2017. You can check more detail on this paper. Get to the point. Summarization with the pointer generation network. And this is almost a neural network for text summarization. And what is transformer model? Transformer model also is a neural network. It's proposed by Vasvari et al. In the paper. Attention is the own unit. You see that on big and famous model for uh, text summarization proposed by famous by big group, big research group, and on this model can apply to another task, not only in the text summarization, also another, for example, in computer vision or speed or another task. Yes. And it's a transformer model. You see that it's also with the encoder and decoder with combined with attention mechanic. Attention, yes, and it uses parallel processing to increase performance and scalability, and bidirectionality to allow understanding of ambiguous work and co-reference. And but or ZPT is proposed by Google research team in 2019. Almost it's almost based on transformer architecture, but not mandatory. Yes, and GPT is do pre-training on different type of unlabeled data set in or cell supervised learning, and is the generalized data representation, which can be used in multi downstream tasks. And as I told you before, this almost is a transformer architecture, but not mandatory. Yes. So in this section, I just told you some approach for the text summarization. First is a neural network with famous model sequence to sequence, and we can apply by the recurrent neural network sequence to sequence, convolution neural network sequence to sequence model, and like a transformer, and some modify of transformer model, for example, BERT or GPT. And like I will show you some case study. It's our research. We just published two paper on the conference in September and December this year. And in this study, we apply transformer model for text summarization. Here is the proposed model. From the text, we do the pre-processing and I check the picture, and we apply transformer model for the text summarization, and we evaluate it. In this study, we apply with the BERT architecture. However, we apply for the Vietnamese language so that we use the phở BERT is the famous BERT architecture for Vietnamese language. And this phở BERT architecture built based on BERT is published by Vin AI Research in 2020. And the second model we use the BAT. It's also deployed from the BAT, and this model apply for Vietnamese language, published by Nguyễn Lương Trần in 2021. And the next model is in the buffer. You can see that here the architecture of buffer here with the input sentence is a mark this, and it's transformed into this. And we had the encoder and decoder here. Yes. encoder look at the entire sequence and learn high-dimensional representation with the bidirectional information, and the decoder takes the true vector and regressionally predict the next token. And the learning upset by computing and optimizing the negative look likelihood as mapped with the target. Yes. And another transformer model we apply on this the research is G5. G5. Also, G5 improved from we apply VIT5, and also VIT5 uh, improved from the G5 for Vietnamese language. Vietnamese language. This published in by Long Farm in 2022. 22. Yes, it also use a transformer approach on the main architecture of G5. So with the data set, we use two data sets. The first is the data set collected from VietNew data set. VietNew data set. And here's the more detail with the training and testing and validation set. And we use another data set to evaluate this data by using the data set from Professor Lê Thanh Hương of University of Science, Hanoi University of Science. Yes. And we use VN Core LNP to tokenize the work and do another pre-processing. And here is an example with the raw text. And after we apply VN Core LNP for the Vietnamese language, we get the tokenized text like that. And we evaluate by three famous score for the text summarization. The first is root one, calculated by the formula. You see that's root one, and the second is root two, and root L. Yeah, root L is a very famous metric to evaluate the text summarization. Another famous metric to evaluate text summarization, we can use BLEO, but in this research we only apply, we only evaluate with three metric based on root. Yes. And the result, the first experiment, we only apply the language model with the FERBERT, PATFER, and VIT5, and you can see that here. Yeah. Actually, in this, you can see that FERBERT is the best method. FERBERT is best method. Best method in the root one. In root one. However, in the root two, it's the same, but root L, VIT5 is better. It's better. What and why VIT5 gets better in root? We will discuss in detail in the future for the future research direction. And after that, we apply by combining language model and transformer. The first combining is a FERBERT to FERBERT. And the second is FERBERT with the transformer, BATFER with transformer, and VIT5 with transformer. And this also proves that FERBERT to FERBERT is the best model. Is best model. And we apply this model to build application. And it's more detailed in the load function when training VIT5 with the basic transformer model, or load function when training BATFER model with the basic transformer model. Okay. So in the talk, I just review about the text summarization and some approach for the text summarization, and I mainly focused on transformer approach and one case study for the objective approach for the Vietnamese text summarization using transformer model. And Our experiment on many transformer language model for but for NVIG5, and we also do combination transformer language model with the transformer training model. And from our experiment, we saw that Faber model get a high risk score or achieve the best result than uh, another model in transformer. And here is also our research. You can check more detail in my website. My topic is natural language processing, machine learning, machine translation, text processing, data analytics, computer vision, and artificial intelligence. And you can check more detail on my website. My website with a lot of research on my website here. And if you are a student, I think the student founder is very helpful for you, because in the student founder here, I had many demo video demo uploaded on YouTube, and you can check more detail if you interested with this research. One demo will describe more detail what data we use, what method we apply, and a small demo for you. For example, here, yeah, with a lot of demo here, and you can check more detail. For example, with this the sentiment analysis using multimodal. Yeah, you can see more detail what data set we use. Yes, which method we apply. Yeah, in this with the text, we use the 4 model. For the image, we use the 9 model, almost a deep learning model. And for the data set combined between the text and image, we propose the hybrid model. Yeah, you can see the result. Yeah, with the image we have the 9 model. With the text we have 4 model. And also combine text and image, we propose the hybrid model. Yes. And lastly, the symbol demo with the text, with the we can get the sentiment analysis from text. With the image, we get the sentiment analysis from image, and combine both text and image, we can get the result. Yeah, if you are interested, please take a look on my website with a lot of demo here. Okay, that's all. I hope this lecture will help you to understand more text summarization. And if you are interested with the research, you can contact with me to do collaboration in the future, or to understand more about this topic. Thank you for the listening.
Thank you, Professor.
Do you have any question?
Yes. So, Jameer, you please take up questions from the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah, if the participants have any questions, kindly ask.
Some
Yeah.
questions are in the chat box.
Sir, there is one question. Is it possible to summarize live speech using transformers?
Yes. Okay, and I send my link right here on the message. You can check more detail on my website. Okay, the first question he asked me: is it possible for summarizing live speech using transform? Yes, we can do that.
Hello, sir. Am I audible to you?
Mhm.
Hello. Hello, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Okay, sir.
here.
First of all, I very much thankful, sir, for your informative session. I'm having one question regarding the sentiment analysis. That, sir, for let us say, for example, that there is a sentence called as "It was not a bad movie." It was not a bad movie. So, how the sentiment analysis can work on the such kind of the sentence, or what we have the solution on the such kind of the sentences?
Uh-huh. You asked me about the sentiment analysis.
Yes, sir, yeah, I'm asking about the sentiment analysis. And one sentence I have given the example like it was not a bad movie.
Hmm.
So yeah, so how the sentiment analysis can work on the such kind of the sentences? Thank you, sir.
Okay. First, first you have to understand about the language model. Language model first. Language model. There are many language model. From the basic with the, for example, one hot vector. A language model is means that how to represent the work in the context.
Okay.
So first, you have to understand about the language model, and there are many kind of language model. For example, you can use the first one hot vector. The second, you can use n-gram. The next is TF, IDF, and the modern technical related to work to vector, work to vector, and transformer. Yeah, and you can check more detail something.
Sir, but
This is
in
the comparison of you about the bird transformer. This is the research by Google Research Group. Yes. And after you understand how the work, after you understand about the work embedding, work technical, you can apply it for the many types of natural learning, not only in sentiment analysis. However, to improve the result, not only use only uh, language model with the machine learning or deep learning, you can do many algorithm or many proposed method to improve your result. That's why up to now, actually, we don't have sufficient method to solve own problem of sentiment analysis or text summarizing. We uh, we are researching to get the best method, best result for this problem. Okay.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, there's one more question.
Mhm.
What are the pre-processing techniques used in text? Is there any function in type?
Yeah, yeah. In speed processing, okay. Because because speed processing first, you have to translate speed to text, and after that, you have uh, to do with the text. The first step, you have to recognize the speech, the text on the speech first, and after you recognize the text, you can do many tasks based on natural language processing for the speed. Do you understand? For example, text to speech, speech to text is the first step. It's our first baseline, and based on that, you will do another task for the speech. Okay. Actually, for the speech recognition, you almost you apply a technique from the image. For example, you can use convolution neural network to recognize the text on the speech, and after that, if you want to do more if you want to find more interesting from the speed, you will explore from the output that you have. Okay.
Sir, for I have one more question, sir. Sorry to
Mm-hmm.
interrupt you. Uh, Let us say, for example, sir, I have to work with the sentiment analysis. So, and what kind of the research are going in the sentiment analysis right now? So, where I can focus?
Uh-huh. Focus on sentiment analysis. Because you know that the sentiment as is not apply it is very famous not research only in the business because there are many uh, now shopping online is very famous, very popular, and so in the business, if you want to buy to order something, you want to know about the comment of other user. From the comment, you will choose the decision for your item. So the next research focus on sentiment analysis with the many how to choose the approach, how to improve the algorithm, or you can develop the new algorithm for the sentiment analysis, and also with another that aspect to the sentiment analysis because sentiment analysis we has a small sphy in the sentiment analysis is aspect by sentiment analysis. For example, you has a sentence, uh, this restaurant is good, but price is very high. So that here there are two aspects. The first is related to the food. Food is good, but the second aspect here is price. Price is expensive. So that aspect by sentiment analysis, you have to detect the aspect first. How many expect customer user talk on the comment, and the next is the sentiment analysis, sentiment for each expect, and lastly and finally with this comment, what user or what customer talking. Yeah, it is not easy to show, and almost I think you have to focus on Indian language because you are Indian. Yes.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Jamir, please take a few more questions, sir, in the chat box.
There's one more question. For speed summarization, how is the model trained based on unsupervised approach?
Unsupervised approach. The first thing for the speed, first you have to check the feature for the speed first. There are many kind of speed you can use, for example, spectrogram, MFCM, and the first you have to check the feature of speed first. And the second, we will apply the feature with the learning model. With the learning model, you can use many learning model, supervised, deep unsupervised, or deep reinforcement learning. So, almost famous, I think deep supervised learning. Uh, the problem of speed recognition is very well, and you can use the some supervised learning, deep supervised learning, for example, from the some pre-trained CNN model to recognize the speed. And another way, some researchers focus on deep unsupervised. However, deep unsupervised is more difficult than the deep supervised learning, and not many models do from the deep unsupervised. So that if you work on deep unsupervised learning model, you have to First, you had to review about what research have done and what you will improve from the previous research, and next you thinking how to develop the new supervised deep unsupervised learning model for the speed recognition. I think it's my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. There's one more question.
Mhm.
Can we use transformer methodology for object detection?
Object detection. Actually, we have some research, but we will public in the future. And for object detection on mode, we you uh, almost pre-train the CNN model first. But some transformer model is has a very good result for object detection. It's in the future direction we will apply this method for the object detection. But up to now, we only use the pre-trained CNN model for the object detection almost. Okay.
Participants can type the question if there's any more. Okay, there's one more question.
Mhm.
Uh, for coded mixed text summarization, which methodology can be used? For coded mixed text summarization, which methodology can be used?
Code mixed text summarizing. What does it mean? Code mixed text summarizing with method can be used. In just the presentation, I just told you there's three approach for the text summarization. The first is adjective. The second is objective, and lastly, combining between adjective and objective. Is the method has advantage also disadvantage. So that based on your data set, based on your task, you have to find the good way for your task. As you know, adjective is very easy, and the time is uh, not much, but maybe the result is not good, because you also know that in the summer the result is look like the human samurai. So also you want to be objective is more difficult than the adjective. So that what method, what is the best method, is based on your task. And first you should explore own research related to this problem. And you know that here almost famous model for language natural language processing, it started from the text summarization or machine translation. And it means that it's a very hard topic and very difficult topic, not an easy topic. Okay, that's my suggestion. Okay, I think if you have more question, you can send the question to my email read, and I'm very happy to answer your question. And hope that this presentation will help you understand more about the text summarization. I heard that there is one question about the chatbot. What is the question related to chatbot? Okay, in my side here with the contact, you can see almost my contact here. Yeah. Okay. And also the link of my personal site, I send the message to you. You have any question related to chatbot? No.
Able to see,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, you just take up.
Okay. Uh, okay. I would like to thank my heartful gratitude to our speaker, that is Dr. Bui Tang Hung, for taking out the time from his busy schedule to grace this session and making this section a grand success. Uh, we thank you, sir, for your valuable and in-depth knowledge and whatever you have shared to us today. We thank uh, we thank you for your presence, and this has been such a huge learning experience for everyone present here today.
Okay.
Uh, okay, I would like to thank all the participants too for making this section a successful one. Okay, so now there will be a lunch break, and the participants can come join at 1:50 p.m. for the next session. Okay, so thank you
Okay.
to
Thank you
everyone.
for your listening. Yeah. Uh,
Thank you, Professor.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.